We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
Welcome back, boys and girls, for yet again another live edition of the Michael Decon program. Oh my, yes, we are live and direct. Yes, welcome back. Thanks for pressing play. I am your host, Michael Decon. And the pleasure is, of course, all yours. In a moment, of course, we have my co-host here tonight with me. Back yet again is Daniel of End of Days, and of course, we also have the man of the hour, Victor. Hugo Vaca Jr. is back yet again for another dose of the Michael Decon program. I know he couldn't stay away, I couldn't stay away, none of us could really stay away from the program, and it's all going down faster than a prostitute at Mar-a-Lago. This is true. Oh, it's damn true. Yes, let's cut this music. Cut the music. There we go. Yes, let's turn that off, turn that back on, and bring in Victor and Daniel. Gentlemen, are you alive and well out there?
Hello, hello.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all the MILFs and GILFs out there in the world.
There you go. Yes, you can't leave them high and dry, as they say. The MILFs need love. The GILFs need love too, Victor. They all need love.
And that's what we're here for.
That's right. That's what we're here for all the mothers out there and all the soon-to-be mothers, the MILFs, the GILFs. We're here to pour some sugar all over them. Aren't we, Daniel and Victor?
Yeah, I liked the MILFs back when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, but I'm a lot older now. Now they're on life support.
Yes, now
you're
on
into
life
the
support.
GILFs.
Oh, yeah. Change those diapers.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, yes.
Oh, man. Depends, GILFs.
Yes.
Good grief.
That's what you have to look forward to, the younger generations out there. This is in your future.
By the way, you
Lord.
see that on the screen right now? That's why my camera wasn't working. I blame it on the Jews.
Really, Victor, already?
Yeah, straight out of the gate. It's the Jews.
Man, that's a record, I think. I think that's the fastest that this program has ever started with a mention of the JWs.
Hey, by the way, thanks to everybody for your patience. We were trying to resolve the technical issues. I am on the border with Russia, Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, a camel ride away from Iran and Israel, but I've never had this problem before. So I turned the computer on and off twice. We got a new link. Just to let you know, the show must go on, though. The American spirit doesn't have to just be in the USA. Even outside, Michael Decon, Daniel, and I refuse to give up. So
Absolutely, yes. So thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Those that listen to this program and those who listen to Victor's program, those who listen to End of Days Radio, we thank all of you for your patience, and everybody in the chat room right now, much love to all of you out there, all the international listeners, and of course, those here in America. We really appreciate all of you, and of course, no introduction for either guest or actually, I don't even consider you guys guests. You guys are basically co-host with me here on this program. I gotta be honest, and again, no introductions from anybody. We already know who we all are here, so it's all good. None of us are compromised, I can guarantee you that. And I do want to say, gentlemen, welcome aboard to the program. It's great to talk to you both here. Victor, you haven't met Daniel before, and he's actually my original co-host, and we've done shows together for years, and he's fully aware of you, Victor, so there's no awkwardness, and he was hyped up to know that you were going to be here, by the way, Victor.
Yeah, I feel like I know him already, and I just wanted to let the audience know that the day is just starting for me here. It's 6:50 a.m. I know in the USA, you all are coming into, well, some of you are already in the midnight in the Eastern Daylight Time, but in California, it's not even time to really go out yet,
Right,
and hit the Hollywood Epstein-style parties, those weird eyes wide shut mansion parties.
oh yeah.
But I'm wide awake. I
You're
got to
wide
bed
awake.
early so I could wake up at 5, so I could be ready at 6. And yeah, it's a beautiful sunshiny day here, so that's good.
Nice.
So is that conflict in Ukraine? Is that something that is a part of your life there, or are you too far away?
No, it's actually a very big part of my life, because what happened is the Ukrainian women have flooded out of the Ukraine because all the white Christian male men are being put through the meat grinder, and they're desperately looking for men. So
Yeah.
there's
Whoa.
beautiful Ukrainian women all over the place, and Russian women as well. It's all by design. It's really interesting because in times of war, the white men die and the white women look for husbands, and so they are all over the place.
Where the
They're
white
everywhere.
women
Really,
at?
should
Yeah.
go down there and do a little night at the Roxbury.
Right.
Yeah, it's literally like a beauty pageant every day.
And by
Yeah.
the way, Victor, I hope you don't get upset or angry with me by asking you this question, but people don't like to ask that sort of question. But I was going to say, how old are you, by the way?
I'm not upset about that. I'm 56 years old.
So
But
you're-
if you were to ask
Mhm.
Jim Fetzer, he claims I'm 6 months older than him. So if you believe Jim Fetzer, I'm actually 87 years old.
87.
And the reason
Well-
why
Mhm.
the reason why I look so good, and this is in Jim Fetzer's own words, which he's never retracted, by the way. That's why I don't trust the people in the so-called truth teller community, because they're a bunch of compulsive liars. He says the reason I look so good is because of all the facelifts and Botox I've gotten.
Really?
I mean, it's just unbelievable. So yeah, I'm 56. It's public record. I was born
Are you
February
on a
15th.
Are you on a special a diet, or are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan. I'm a vegetarian, except when it comes to sex.
Wow.
Ah, gotcha. 'Cause I
Well-
noticed you got a little bit of one of those. I don't know what you call it, a glow.
Yeah, it's because I just got laid.
Okay.
Well, he does have a bit of a glow. That's true.
These Ukrainian women, I'll tell you.
Oh man, I'm jealous.
And by the way, the reason why I'm asking you that is, I was going to say the hook was, doesn't really matter how old the man is. You still have some workable seed there going on there, Victor. So you could become a father even at your age.
Yeah, and I plan on it because Zorba the Greek had children when he was in his 80s, and so did Charlie Chaplin. And Moses had kids when he was like 800 years old, I think. So I still got plenty of time.
A lot of people,
All it
though,
takes is one viable sperm.
That's true, but a lot of people, a lot of women out there get very angry about that. They're like, "Oh, he's an old man. He's not even gonna be around when the child gets a little bit older. He's gonna be gone." So a lot of people, there's a bit of a stigma in the States about that certain thing, about men doing that sort of thing, having kids, and when they're really old.
Maybe in the old days, but now women are divorcing their husbands and going to court and having where the men can't see the children. So I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of women say they don't need men, that they hate men. Feminism has completely destroyed the family unit. But I could tell you this, walking around in where I am, you'll see younger women with older men all the time. It's different here. See, here in the US, it's very materialistic. The women just want the seed, and then they go to court, and then the judge is not in favor of the men. And then they just say, okay, you have no visitation rights for the child, but you have to pay every month, not only for the child, but for the ex-wife. Here it's different. They, when there's no men, it's different. Like, they're just happy to find a guy who can get it up, you know?
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's unbelievable. I walk around the streets and you see guys that would normally not even be able to land a 4 or a 5 in the USA. They're walking around with 8, 9s, and 10s. These guys are punching up, man. I'm like, holy cow.
Wow.
It's incredible.
I'm pretty sure I would be even though I'm poor over here, I'd probably be rich over there.
Yeah, and if you're American, forget about it, because they all want the passport. They still believe in the American dream. They're like, oh,
you go on a 90-day fiancé.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a whole different thing over here. The Russian women are just gorgeous.
Man.
Oh yeah, Eastern European women are probably, well, I don't want to discriminate, but them and the probably the Iranian women are both just, man.
You like that?
Yeah,
Iranian
there's
women?
there's a lot of Iranian women here too, because I'm a camel ride away from the Middle East, and the Turkish women are beautiful too. I mean, there's beautiful women everywhere, so it's great, and they don't have that American attitude. That's the whole thing, because the American attitude is just horrible. It's not all. I'm not painting with the broad brush, but all you have to do is watch TikTok and see these girls. You know.
Did you guys see this comment here? Al Pacino was 83 when his last kid was born.
Damn.
Yeah.
83 years young and having a child. Yes, a lot of people online will not like that, that's for sure. A lot of women will not like that. Some men might not even like that. Again, there's that stigma of, again, you're having these kids, you're not going to be there for them in their lives. That's basically the go-to argument, that you're not going to be there when they get older. And it's like, yeah, of course not. I'm fucking 83.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing, because when I'm gone, my legacy will be on the internet, and my kids could just look up, and instead of mom putting them with these weird cartoons that they have now, which have sexual symbolism in there, all the Disney cartoons and the Nickelodeon and everything, they all have like pedophile symbols in the cartoons. My kids will just be able to watch me. They'll be able to watch Daddy on the podcast. So I'll be there for my kids.
Understood.
Yeah, I'll be there. They'll learn from me.
It's a crazy thing, though, Victor. You know, the times that we live in, again, you mentioned just men don't really want to get married. Unfortunately, women don't want to get married either these days. Low birth rates. And you got to worry about a lot of things, especially you have a daughter, a son growing up. You have to worry about your son sleeping with their teacher, or if you have a daughter, she's banging the teacher as well. I mean, it's a whole thing, Victor, in other words.
I don't know. It sounds like that's a U.S. problem, because that really problem, I don't see that problem over here. Plus,
we have it here.
They're very family oriented.
We have it here, Victor. Every other week.
Teachers are definitely banging kids. Yes, over there.
Yeah, man. That's what you got to worry about, is my son, my daughter getting railed by the teacher. That's now it's a sort of a real concern. Again, anytime you get online, you look, there's a new one every week, and I know Daniel's familiar with this. He sees it. Obviously, you are too.
Oh, sure. But I also wanted to bring up that not only is there all kinds of sexual symbols in the cartoons, especially Disney, but if you go to Disneyland or Disney World, I think this was talked about on this program before, but it's all adults. It's like middle-aged people that are obsessed with Disney and Star Wars and stuff like that.
Disney adults, they're called.
Lindsey Graham was perving around Disney.
Really? You don't say?
It's just incredible. Yeah, you didn't see him? He was running around there with some child wand and stuff, picking up little kids at Disney.
Not
and
surprised.
He's a single adult man. Who does that? who goes to Disneyland on vacation?
Past a certain age, past a certain age, Victor, it's a little bit questionable. And of course, he's a politician of sorts. And if he's parading around at Disneyland, that's a bit of a red flag.
Yeah, but nobody cares. The United States knows that it's being led by pedophiles and psychopaths and compulsive liars, and they seem to be okay with it.
They seem to be fine.
The reason why the teachers here don't have sex with the kids is because there's street justice here, and in Russia too. And it even makes the news. Some father had the guy who raped his daughter dig his own grave, and then he threw him in there and buried him alive. And when the Russian police found out about it, they came, they investigated. They were like, "Yep, the guy raped your daughter. Absolutely. Thank you for saving us the trouble." And no worries. Same thing over here. If there's a pedophile in town, the police don't get called. The neighbors get together and they just make the pedophile disappear. So nobody's pedophile. I mean, I'm sure there's pedophiles, but it's not as prevalent as in the United States. There's, like I said, good old street justice.
There's a weird sickness in America, Victor, for these sort of activities with underage girls. That's very prominent here in America for whatever reason. I don't understand it, but there's a lot of men that are into these sort of things, and a lot of them just happen to be politicians. It's an odd thing here.
Well, I think it's because it's been normalized. That's the thing. You watch it in the television and the movies and in the music. It's by design, because who controls the music and television and all that industries?
Yeah,
it's in the
kind
Talmud.
of aristocrat thing too, because going back to the Marquis de Sade, he was targeting teenagers and even wrote a book about it. They made a movie about it called Salo. It's probably the sickest movie I've ever glimpsed in my life.
What is it? Salo?
Yeah, Salo or 100 Days of Sodom.
Oh, wow. The sickest movie you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to have to check it out. Is it on, can I find it on the internet somewhere? SALO?
Yeah, you should be able to find it, or at least find clips on YouTube and the full movies on the internet, on other sites. It's about these aristocrats that gather up these teenagers and just do all kinds.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that movie. What's weird is, so you're saying I could find clips of that on YouTube, but meanwhile I'm banned and censored on YouTube. Interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of Jews, I recently got in just this really heated debate with this rabbinical Jewish gentleman that was trying to convince me that Jesus Christ does not exist. And he had a hell of a lot of very strong arguments, but boy, at the end of it, I just felt very disgusted that this person was trying so hard to destroy my faith.
Well, this one's for the MILFs and GILFs out there. They know Jesus Christ exists when they're reaching orgasm. So
that's true. You're not wrong. You're not lying.
You should have told that to the rabbi. Yeah, if Jesus Christ doesn't exist, then why do women scream Jesus Christ every time they're having an orgasm?
That's a good
point.
Well,
what I learned from it was, and I don't know why I didn't know this before, but apparently some Jewish people, or a lot of them, believe that during the end times that they are actually going to rule as a special elite class.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And they're going to have 2,800 goy slaves, non-Jew slaves. It's in their Talmud. That's why they also believe it's okay to be a pedophile, because the Talmud states that you can have sex with the child as long as it's 3 years old, because the hymen fixes itself, just like if somebody gets poked in the eye, they tear a little bit, but then everything's okay. It's in the Talmud.
It's pretty wild.
Not making this stuff up.
Humans are insane, by the way, Victor. That's what all this tells me. For centuries, man has always had this sickness about them. Whether they're into underage children, killing them, or torturing their fellow man, there's something wrong with the human race in general, Victor. We're very broken people, it seems like. We're strange animals is what I'm getting to.
Well, that's why the new species, and they're calling it a species now, is artificial intelligence. And so the plan is, and I'm not making this stuff up, these people are psychopaths. Their plan is to eliminate and make mankind extinct so that artificial intelligence will take over, and transhumans and robots and stuff like that will basically rule the world. And all these crazy people, who a lot of them happen to be Jewish again. I'm not picking on the Jews, but I was on Jim Fetzer's show and I told him everything about artificial intelligence is Jewish. And every time I said something about the Jews, I think he may be Jewish, he got upset at me. And now you can look it up. Everything about artificial intelligence is Jewish. There's no goy up there leading the artificial intelligence. Anyway, so they want to replace humans with artificial intelligence for the reason that you said.
And if they aren't Jewish, they're probably a crypto Jew. If you do a little research, you usually find out that they are.
Yeah, I was on with the guy the other day who came on my channel. I didn't debate him. I didn't feel like it. I just wanted him. You know, sometimes you just let the guest just speak.
Right.
And man, he was swearing that it was the Jesuits, that it's not the Jews, it's the Jesuits, it's the Roman Catholics. And I'm like, okay, but you do realize the Jesuits are Jews, and that the Catholics, the Vatican, answers to the Rabbinical Council. So in the end, when you follow the money, it's always the Jews.
Yeah, follow the money trail and you will find a tiny hat. But there's some people that have, they seem to have the blinders on for whatever reason. A good example would be even Mike Hideous, who you talked to, Victor. You know, I've been trying to get to Mike for a while now about this issue, but he doesn't believe it. I mean, I bring it up and he makes a mockery of it.
Yeah, and then what do? I mean, it's kind of, I'm past the point of arguing with this.
You can only show, yeah, exactly. You can only show a horse to water. You know, it's the horse that has to drink the water, as you know, that old saying.
It's a whole big trap. You know, you go down that road, they start sicking the defamation league on you and coming at you with all kinds of rules and saying you're stirring up hate. It's they control the system and they control what happens to you when you violate their rules. And me personally, I don't believe that they are really Jewish people. I believe that they're actually the enemies of the Jews, the Canaanites. Because if you look at what gods they actually worship, they're all Canaanite gods.
Yeah, that's true. They do use the real Israelites as human shields. They hide behind them, especially the Ashkenazi Jews. They're not even from the Middle East. They're from Germany and Europe, and also the Khazarian Mafia. They're also not the real Israelites. It's all lies. All of human history is lies. The older I get, now that I'm 87 years old, I realize everything I've been taught is a lie.
Right, and I'm going to make a point about that as we go along. I have some things to say about that, and I think everybody's going to agree with me. But before we get into all that sort of stuff, by the way, Victor, you know, time and time again, I won't be seeing what's going on with you over there on Rumble. You know, I'll take some time away to do other things, but then I come back around and I check up with you and see what's going on over there. And I'm always thinking, like, who else is, you know, going to pop up? Who are these people, basically, is what I'm always thinking. But there is a new guy that you've been talking about recently. I have no idea who this person is. Now you're fighting with some ladyboy lover. What is that all about? What is that?
There's a guy who claims to be a journalist who was I think he's more of a Fed, because now that I'm starting to see his true colors. During the January 6th protest, whatever that was a total setup, a psyop again. He got caught up in all that, and he was arrested along with the grandmothers and all the other people who were there. Of course, the real instigators were never arrested. Remember that one guy who was telling everybody to storm the Capitol? He never got arrested, and it was just such a joke. Anyway, this guy was in there, so he came on my show because he was one of the January 6th and started crying in front of his mother and everything.
Oh my!
And then he starts coming on my show and he starts hating on white people. The thing is, he's a white guy, so you know, like I said, I let people come on the show and they basically expose themselves. Just the more you let them talk, the more they expose themselves. And then he went on a show with another guy who told me that he wanted me to denounce Jesus if I ever wanted to have him back on the show. And I'm like, listen, you may be a good guest, but I'm not going to risk eternal damnation just to have you on the show. You know, you're not that good of a guest. So no, I'm not going to denounce
What
Jesus.
guest was that, by the way? I don't remember that guy.
I don't even like giving these people's names because I don't want to give them any kind of notoriety. Because that's what they want. They're all attention. They're all attention seekers. You know, they're all attention seekers, and they probably listen to the show right now.
Probably.
So they're probably just with bated breath, hoping that I'll say their names, so I won't give them the satisfaction.
Understood. But so, was this the Satanist-looking guy?
Yeah. This was the total. Yeah, there's like Satanists that come on the show, and I enjoy having Satanists on the show because it's a nice contrast between. Sometimes I have Jesus freaks on the show. You know, the nice thing about the show is that I have all sorts of real people on the show.
Understood. Yes.
And there's Satanists, there's pedophiles, there's alcoholics, there's people on fentanyl, there's, you know, MILFs, GILFs. I mean, it's just such a wonderful world, and I bring them all on the show. I've become like the Jerry Springer of the podcast world.
Well, personally, I like that. You know, we love that here, especially. And by the way, you know, I was just thinking, I'm like, where on earth does Victor find these people? He called you a closeted gay man, I believe.
Yeah. He's calling me a closeted gay man, a Mossad Jew. Anyway, the thing is, these people, they all come from the school of Jim Fetzer, where they just spread lies and hope that people believe it. So he comes on chats. I'm surprised he's not on this chat yet. He probably will show up
eventually.
And he was on the last. Yeah, he was on the last show that we did, claiming that his contacts in China show that I've never lived in China, that I've never been to China. He wants me to show him my passport and my visa. I'm like, get out of here.
The attacks are so random. Like he finds the strangest things to target.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, Victor, if it makes you feel any better, Victor, I've been called much worse, by the way.
Yeah. Listen, if you're going to be in this arena and you're going to be a public figure, which we are now, we have to take the slings and arrows. And if you're going to be like the Kash Patel's wife, who constantly is suing people, so is Kash Patel, by the way. He's the FBI head, and he just sues people if he doesn't like what they say, which is ridiculous because he hasn't done shit. All he does is get drunk and fly around on taxpayer dollars to go get drunken everywhere.
What did Kimmel say about him? He's the first Indian guy that's bad at his job.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
As I told Mike Hideous a few weeks ago, I've always said you never trust a man who has googly eyes, and Kash Patel has very googly eyes. You don't want to trust a man like that, ladies and gentlemen.
They're googly and they're guilty.
Very guilty.
Or a woman. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who had eyes that were like Kash Patel's, and I always used to like to sit in the back of the class because I'm a bit of I don't want to say troublemaker, but I used to be the class clown. So I would always sit in the back of the class and say something stupid when the timing was appropriate. Man, I could never get away with it with this woman because I would think that she was looking one way, but she was always with one eye on me. I was like, holy cow. Yeah. She always had an eye on me. And she would tell me that too. She's like, I've got my eye on you, Victor. I was like, oh no, she really does. Yeah, I don't trust people that are cockeyed. No offense to the cockeyed.
Yeah, no offense to those great folks out there with a little bit of a lazy eye or anything like that, looking like Notorious B.I.G. with those eyes. We still love you. But by the way, somebody wanted to give that. I received already. I got an email about. They're asking about that movie that you mentioned, Daniel. I said it's called Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom.
Yeah, and I'd have to warn anybody that's interested that it is a movie that will literally make you throw up in your mouth. There's a scene where they make the kids basically eat shit.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I've got to see that then, because I'm a big fan of throwing up in my mouth.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so it's a group of fascists round up 9 adolescent boys and girls and subject them to 120 days of physical, mental, and sexual torture. I mean, I don't know if I would.
It goes back to their belief again because in the secret societies, some of them believe that you can actually preserve your youth by sexually vampirizing children.
Yeah, it's true. I did that last week. That's why I'm 87, but I look like I'm 56.
Good Lord.
Hence the healthy glow.
Once a month, I sexually vampirize children.
Jewish children.
And you can cut. Yeah. And people could take that out of context and clip it and say, you see, we told you he was that. Yeah, go ahead.
And by the way,
he's joking. He's joking.
By the way, Daniel, I thought you were gonna. I thought Leon the Professional was a bad movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, but I mean, with that sort of agenda.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the overtones.
The French version.
Oh, Leon the Professional?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the movie with the girl from the Star Wars series?
Natalie Portman,
Natalie Portman, yeah.
You thought that movie was gross?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of, sexual sort of innuendos there. That's the American version, but the French version is a little even more risque.
Oh, wow.
Well, I love that part where he's hanging upside down and he pops through the doorway and shoots those guys up.
Yeah, that's a classic. It's a good one. But yeah, there's a lot of sick shit out there thanks to Hollywood. And yes, lots to discuss here tonight with both of you gentlemen. There's all sorts of things going around, especially in the UFO world, by the way, Victor. And that's one thing I wanted to bring up to you and Daniel. Wanted to get your thoughts on all the shit that's going around. I have a very different perspective about all of this sort of thing, but I want to hear your thoughts first before I even say anything about this subject and this matter. I don't know if you want to go first, Victor or Daniel, but in terms of UFO disclosure and all this shit that's going on, curious to think what you folks think.
Daniel, go first.
Oh, okay, thanks. Hey, I'm old school. I'm a Christian. I believe that the UFOs are one of two things. They are human, government, CGI, AI generated, or that they are demonic spirits. I've had a number of UFO encounters myself, and they always seem to go running away when you mention the name Jesus Christ. So it's hard for me to really believe that they're anything else. Could there be aliens out there? Hey, I don't really know. It is possible, I guess. I do have a very open mind, but I also know that Satan is the father of lies, and that there is a plan in place to fake some sort of alien invasion or alien saviors. It's going to have something to do with the Anunnaki. They're going to claim to be our creators. So I wouldn't trust any of that stuff. It's also a distraction from some of the nasty stuff that the president's been involved with. So that's my take on it.
Yeah. The only thing I want to know about these alien files is how many of them are on the Epstein list. Because, again, like you said, this is a total distraction. I don't trust the government at all because I was at the Naval Academy and I realized that in order for me to move up, they wanted me to be a liar and a psychopath. So I know who's there, and what they're putting out to the public is what they want you to believe, because we're watching a movie. This is all scripted. And the movie is designed to say, hey, look over here. Look, these aliens, these UFOs. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm still on September 11, 2001, trying to figure out how 2 airplanes took down like 9 buildings. Because, of course, people only think about Building 7, but there were a lot of other buildings besides Building 7. It was like 9 buildings. Who does that? Meanwhile, there was an airline that crashed in India where one guy walked out unscathed, which was very weird. And the tail of the plane was stuck in the side of a concrete building that was built in India. We're not talking about a solid steel structure with a web of steel that was designed to take the impact of a jumbo jet, but also had a solid concrete center where the elevators were. So if it somehow managed to miraculously penetrate the web of steel, it wouldn't have gotten through the solid concrete. I'm still on that. That was 2001. Now you're bringing out some aliens. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. What happened to the Epstein files? I want to know, if these aliens are real, I'm pretty sure some of them were hanging out on Epstein Island. So can we get back to that, please, before you start showing me some bullshit footage of what looked like drones to me? Fox News, of course, was the first one, and they were like, look, we've got this disc that they gave us, and we're going to show you some grainy footage. Yeah, they've got satellites that can see me while I'm sitting on the toilet passing some, spicy food.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're not able to show what the hell these so-called unidentified flying objects are. Get out of here. Listen, it's a bunch of nonsense. It's just distraction, total distraction, before you realize that, there's no food on the table.
Right. And I agree and disagree on a few of those things, and I'll get into all that here in a moment. But back to Daniel, though. So you are under the belief that these things, these entities, these non-human entities or biologics, whatever you want to call them, these non-human entities, you're in that camp that you fully believe that these are demonic. Is that what you're saying?
Well, look, you got two main types that everybody sees. You have the giant, tall, white humanoids, and you have the reptilians. Right. And both of those guys are from the Bible. Angels are described as snake-like or dragon-like, and then the giants would be the giant Nephilim, or you could say that they're Anunnaki or hybrids or something like that. And of course there's the Greys, which everybody says are just robotic clones and drones and things like that. They actually serve these other aliens. So if that's it, if that's all they have to offer us, I think it's pretty obvious these things are either creatures, entities that have existed here already. They've probably been here before us. They're not from outer space. Or it's all complete bullcrap and it's CGI. It's government, what do they call them? MyLabs programming and drones. Like our guest said, Victor, a lot of them are drones. I don't care how big they are.
Yeah.
We know the technology exists for the mercury-based. You swirl the mercury around and it creates anti-gravity using the Earth's magnetic field. That technology has been out there. I was reading about it back 20 years ago. So there's nothing new under the sun, and I don't believe for one second that aliens are suddenly showing up right when all these wars are starting and all this Epstein stuff coming out. Just no.
I would agree. It's a bit of a distraction for everything that's going on. But the interesting thing, though, in my opinion, is that they lied. I think that's kind of the silver lining to all of this, by the way. Some people aren't very happy with it. Some people don't really give much thought, but you aren't really seeing the bigger picture. It's the fact that the government lied for so long, for decades. The word conspiracy theorist was weaponized against anyone who dared to look beyond the official narrative, the official story. And this is actually, I guess you could say, this is kind of a proof that they've lied and they've deceived you about all kinds of things. Things like Operation Northwoods, MK Ultra, COINTELPRO, all sorts of things. And now UFOs of sorts. It's been something that they've tried to dismiss from all kinds of people that allegedly saw things in the sky. And I would have to say a good amount of these things you see in the sky are drones. But then, of course, there are some things that can't really be that well explained, especially some of the footage from NASA, by the way. I thought that was pretty fascinating to see the sort of dialogue between the astronauts and Earth about what they're seeing out there. I don't really think those are drones out there in space. And again, that solidifies that the government has been lying to you about all sorts of things, not just UFOs. You got to see it for the bigger picture, boys and girls. That means they've been lying to each and every one of us for years about all sorts of different things. The past 5 years. They've been lying about certain things, and it seems like now we're going to have another one of these viruses with the hantavirus, Daniel and Victor, or the hentai virus for those that goon.
Yeah, I've got my mask on right now.
You got your mask on already?
Yeah, I've got my mask on already. I don't want to catch anything from you.
And
guys.
By the way, Victor, do you think I'm off base? You don't want to catch anything from me, I know. But Victor, do you think I'm off base though? Do you think that what I just said is bullshit, or do you think there's some validity to what I'm saying about them basically been lying about all kinds of shit?
Man, I think you're 100% spot on. Unfortunately, you and the audience that you have are in the minority. Most of the Americans love to be fed sweets and told lies, and they haven't stood up and taken their pitchforks and their torches out, knowing that children are being raped, tortured, murdered, and eaten.
That's right.
So, I mean, the world is looking on at the United States, and they're like, wow, what is it going to take for you guys to actually like take action against the government that you have that's lying to you and goofing on you? Like, at this point, the fact that they would want you to believe that like demons would have to get into a spaceship and fly around in order to haunt you and stuff like that. Demons can just like, they're interdimensional. That means they can pop in and out, you know? And like a fart, a demon is like a fart, only you can't see it, you know? But if you smell, because demons are smelly apparently. So yeah, demons stink like sulfur. So who knows if somebody's farting or if there's a demon around. But we don't know anything now because they're hiding all this stuff from us. It's just ridiculous. I don't know what it's going to take for Americans to rise up. I could tell you this, around the world, they don't need the government to tell them that there's other life forces in this universe. They already know. Yeah. That's why they're not releasing any files. They just know. Like, today was Russia's Victory Day. They had this big celebration and everything. And there's a lot of American journalists, real journalists, not the fake ones who just read a script. And they've moved to Russia. And it turns out that I'm not the only one who's saying that there's more free speech outside of the USA than there is in the United so-called States of America. That's why I moved to China in peaceful protest, because in China I was able to talk about the Epstein and I was able to talk about the Jews. And when I was living in China, the Chinese people told me, oh yeah, we know all about the Jews. They're thinking that they're going to be able to have 2,800 Chinese slaves because they think that we are subservient. And the Chinese were telling me they got another thing coming because we're going to do the double cross on them. The Chinese have learned from the Jews to do the double cross. That's why I have faith. I'd rather, have the, listen, I feel more comfortable around a Chinese person than I do around a Jew, put it that way. No offense to the Jews, but I'm not talking about the fake, I'm talking about the fake Jews, not the Israelites. I've been with Israelites, and even the Israelites told me, hey man, these Jews are not to be trusted. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's coming from you. I'll believe you. I've done shows with real Israelites. I'm talking about the black Jews, the Ethiopian Jews. And I did a show with a black Ethiopian female singer at an event in Miami, Florida for the Super Bowl.
Really?
And yeah, she told me, she goes, oh, Victor, the Jews are the most racist people. I said, really? She goes, yeah, I'm a real Jew and the Jews hate me. And I was like, wow, okay. Yeah, really, she was a really cool black Jew.
By the way, Victor,
I've heard a lot of stories of Ethiopian black Jews in Israel, and they get stuff thrown at them.
Oh my!
They get called all kinds of names. They get treated like absolute garbage.
Yeah, they hate the real Jews because they know that the real Jews are real Jews, and they interfere with their plot.
My goodness!
That's why in New Jersey, that the Jews there are reproducing like roaches. I mean, they have like 17 kids, and the men don't work. They just stay at the synagogue all day, and they rub their hands together and they plot. And the women, they don't really have to work either because the stupid goy pay for them. They have all sorts of government subsidies. It's just unbelievable. I don't understand. So single white men and a white couple can't afford to have a child. But a Jew that's not working, sitting there plotting the demise of the white man, uh, can have 17 kids, and it's all paid for by the white couple that says, "Oh, we can't afford to have kids." You have kids. You have 17 Jew kids, is what you have. You're just not having fun procreating and raising your own children. It's just bizarre.
By the way, Victor, I thought
Really
for a moment there that you said you interviewed a black Hebrew Israelite.
No, I actually performed. I did a modern art music movement performance with her. She was a singer, and I was on stage with her, and I created a work of art. I have synesthesia. I hear wavelengths and frequencies and color, and I also have no shame. I'm not afraid to get up on stage and make a fool of myself. And so
we like
while
that.
she was,
yes, we like that here. No shame. We love that here.
I have no shame. So yeah, I get up on stage and they're like, "Hey, listen, you're performing with members of Aerosmith or the Goo Goo Dolls or Cracker," and I'm like, "Cool, love it, let's do it."
Nice.
Next thing you know,
when you create your art, is this all just coming from you, or do you use like psychedelic drugs to assist you?
man, that would be nice, but no, it's just coming from the energy of the audience, the energy of the band, and the energy of the stage that I'm performing on get coalesced on canvas to create a Rorschach interpretation of the event. I could tell you, you don't need drugs when you're actually on stage with Boston. I'm like, holy cow, I grew up listening to your music, man. And now I'm like rocking with you guys.
Wow.
And then the audiences, the girls are great because they flash me their tits while I'm on stage. I love that. They just like, they'll look at me, they'll catch my eye. And next thing you know, pow, boom, tatas right in your face. I mean, who needs drugs, you know, when you've got bodacious tatas like that? And then the stages that I perform on, the Rolling Stones have performed on them. Billy Joel has performed on them, and Bob Dylan has performed on them. So you actually feel the resonation of the frequency and the energy that stays on those stages. And I've performed in venues that are historical venues. So yeah, it's
out of
great,
all
man.
these huge artists that you've worked with, do you have a personal favorite?
I really enjoyed being with Boston. Wow, those guys were great. And then I met them afterwards, and we hung out afterwards at one of the mansions in Fort Myers, where I think it was Henry Ford and Edison were neighbors, and this rich couple wanted to have the members of the band at their house, and I found out that Goudreau was one of the members of Boston, one of the original members, is a master chef. So I'm hanging out with everybody, and he's cooking up some great food. The day was beautiful. It was on the waterfront. And then next thing you know, we're just jamming in the living room, which was a beautiful living room, and just kind of like just having fun, just being real. I don't know. I really, the behind the scenes of the rock world is a lot more fun than, well, I don't want to say that because that's not true. Being on stage is incredible. The energy that you feel is amazing. But there's moments like being on a tour bus and going from one venue to the next. And then when you're on that tour bus, everybody just like, we just start singing and we just start having fun on the tour bus. But what's also weird is you'll meet and you'll tell friends, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be in New Hampshire, you know, stop by." You give them free passes to the show, and then they want to hang out with you. And the thing is, you only get to hang out with them for a little bit, because then you got to get back on the tour bus and head to the next place. And then you get out and you rehearse, and then you have to go on stage. So you really don't get to see much when you're on a tour bus and you're touring. You're really just kind of performing. It's work, man. It really is work. But it's work that I can't complain about. It's some of the best memories I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I would say that you're a lucky guy, but I know that there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into it.
I'll tell you, one of the coolest things was, I don't know if you know this band Cracker. They sing something about, yeah, Cracker. And they sing something girl. And I love that song. And so sometimes I don't find out who I'm going on stage with until just the final minute. They're like, "Oh, you're going on stage with John Waite." I'm like, oh man, John Wade, he's the guy who sings that song "Missing You."
So this
And
is
next
a
thing you know, I'm at-
1990s band, by the way, Cracker.
yeah. They got I just remember there's the word "girl" on it. It's like an 8-minute song, and holy cow, I love that song. And being on stage with them and then creating a work of art to that song on stage with them is great. Also, being on stage with Johnny Resnick of the Goo Goo Dolls was a lot of fun too. He was pretty cool.
Nice. And Victor, do you miss? Obviously, you do miss being on stage, but do you ever think there'll be another time in your life when you get to be back on stage with one of these sort of acts?
Yeah, totally. The only reason I'm not doing it now is because, well, this is such a small country, and I've already gone to the television stations and spoken to the executives there and the owners of the television stations and pitched them. I said, listen, I was living in China and I was getting ready to do all these modern art music movement shows with bands and masters in China. And now I'm here. Let's do it here. And they were like, this is like they're still doing soap operas, like 70s soap operas here. I said, listen, I've got a movie script. Let's make movies. Let's do something. Let's revolutionize your television and movie industry. And they said, oh, Victor, we really appreciate what you do and we love your work, but we're getting paid more money by the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and NGOs to just keep it simple. And they said, as much money as you'll bring us with your stuff, it's not going to compare to what we're getting from all these organizations. And it's by design. They want to keep these people dumbed down, I guess you could say. And I was coming in there telling them, oh, the COVID is a psyop and the bioweapons disguised as vaccines. And they were like, no. That we agree with you, but you got to wear the mask. And I was like, okay, I see what you guys are doing. You're spreading the fear. Gotcha. And you're making money off of it. So yeah, the behind the scenes of what's really going on is really, really dark because it's all about money. It's not about the people. And I think once people start understanding that, the music industry, Hollywood, the news, it's all fake, people. It's all fake.
Yeah, it's sad because, so many of our favorite artists, like Led Zeppelin or the Rolling Stones, people like that, and you hear these guys are into the dark arts and stuff like that. It's sad because these are like this is the best music that we have, especially compared to the crap they come out with nowadays.
Yeah, fortunately, I've never experienced that. Like the people that I've been with and hung out backstage and all, they've all been pretty solid. A lot of them are actually family men. I remember being with 311, and the girls were coming backstage and having them autograph their Bodacious Tatas.
Right.
And I'm hanging out with their wives, and their wives, I'm like, whoa, like, you guys don't mind? They go, nah, it's just part of the business. He comes back to me at the end of the night. So it's all theater. But yeah, that's cool. Part of the benefits is you get to autograph girls' tits.
Understood. And somebody in the chat is asking, or they're saying, I'm confused as to why Victor's stuck in Georgia.
All right. The quick story is I was living in China on a 10-year visa. I still have till 2029 to work with masters in the art world, to create sculptures, to do modern art music movement performances, which is where I use my synesthesia to manifest Rorschach interpretations of the event on canvas. And we were going to do a lot of progressive stuff that had never been done before. So I was really looking forward to that. Alas, I got a letter from the State Department telling me that I had 48 hours to escape, or I could be held as a political prisoner or die. So I want to live. I managed to escape China with $250 in my pocket. Actually, it was 249. The only airports that were open was Istanbul, Turkey, because the COVID had everybody shutting down airports. So I made it out of China 2 hours before the last border closed on the day that the Wuhan virus whistleblower, Dr. Li Wenlang, died. When I got to Istanbul, I immediately remembered the movie Midnight Express, where Brad Davis had to, crying with tears in his eyes, stare at his wife's bodacious tatas through a glass because he was in prison. And I was like, wow, I don't want to end up that way. So I looked quickly and found the closest place I could get to that was open was Tbilisi, Georgia. And when I got to Tbilisi, Georgia, I went on television. I tried warning the world about the whole COVID psyop and everything. And then they closed the borders down. So I've been stuck here ever since. But the guy who was my handler, the Chinese handler, Huiping Wang, was the one who made me realize that it was a psyop, because he started telling me that I was going to be rich and famous. I was going to be like the Anthony Fauci. People were going to make candles with my image on it.
And by the way, where is he at, by the way, Victor? Where is he at now?
He's in the USA. He was telling me the whole thing. Yeah. He's a sleeper cell. I reported it to the State Department, to the Department of Homeland Security, to the U.S. Embassy. And I've got all this documented. You can type in Huiping Wang, Huiping, last name Wang, Wang, and Victor Hugo, and you'll see the reports. I show all the evidence, the emails that I sent to the State Department, to the Department of Homeland Security, letters that I got back from the White House and everything. That's when I realized, holy cow, this is a psyop. Everybody's in on it. Because he was bragging. These people brag. It's like, oh, yeah. We're going to use we're going to go to all the countries in Europe. We're going to take advantage of, they all give like illegal aliens free stuff. So they go on vacation on the taxpayers' money.
Oh, how nice.
And then he's like, and then I'm going to get to the United States and I'm going to be a sleeper cell there. It's like, wow, man, you literally, they brag about this stuff.
That is freaky.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So, Victor, by being involved with someone like that, is that one of the reasons why you can be, or if you even can, be in America? Would federal agents be looking for you to a certain degree?
Well, actually, right now I'm the primary witness in that Huiping Wang terrorist case, because he was making death threats against me, and I've posted the death threats because that's how I started this video diary, is because I wanted people to know that I'm not suicidal. And I was getting legitimate death threats. And that's another reason why I was wearing masks. People who don't know the story and just talk out of their ass.
Yeah.
An SGT report is one of them, by the way. This is a guy who's got one of the biggest channels, claims to be a truth teller. And I called him out. I was on his show a number of times. And then the moment I expose General Michael Flynn and Elon Musk as not being trusted, I get blacklisted. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, I got to follow the script. And the script is, Elon Musk is a good guy and he's a hero and trust him. And the same thing with General Michael Flynn. Well, I know different.
And by the way, do you think that's a sponsor sort of issue?
Totally is a sponsor. That's why I'm so blessed to be sponsored by my audience. I answer to just the audience, not to any corporate sponsors. I've had the opportunity to have corporate sponsors. They wanted me to do some of the stuff that SGT report does. And I'm like, no. Because then I couldn't be me.
So Elon Musk and General Flynn are basically on the premise of you can't really mention them in a negative kind of way.
Oh, yeah. You got to say that they're awesome. He's a hero. He's the guy who came up with the basic high income, because they realized people weren't too cool with basic income. So they just added the word high. First of all, because they know most Americans are high.
Very high.
That they hear the word high,
right.
They're like, oh, that's cool. We're going to get high. It's like, no, you're going to be enslaved. You're going to have a social credit score. And if you don't behave yourself, you're not going to get basic high anything.
Right.
Yeah, he's smoking pot on Joe Rogan's show, just pandering to that clueless 20-something-year-old male audience.
Yeah, and he's an idiot, apparently. He hasn't. I've had guests on my show, like Michael McKibben, who actually invented social media. He's the real guy. And they stole it from him. He went to the patent office, and the patent attorney was like, ooh, this is too big. And so he gave it to the government. And then, of course, the CIA got involved and said, oh, we could use this for Facebook, because they had a program. Facebook is the biggest CIA operation of ever, because people put their photos in there, their personal information there.
Yeah.
They don't even have to like spy on you. You spy on yourself. It's so ridiculous. So
same with X or Twitter. It's exactly the same. That anything you send in those DMs or anything, it's all getting slurped up.
Yeah, by artificial intelligence and held at the NSA. So yeah. Anyway, I've been here because the police are taking care of me. They're like, listen, you're the primary witness. You can't leave. We need you to testify on this. And so, yeah, the U.S. Embassy is aware of it.
Wow.
And what's funny about that is my haters like Jim Fetzer, Susan Bradford, which did you get an email from her, by the way?
No.
Telling you not to have me on this time?
No, I haven't received any emails yet. No, nothing yet, but I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah. So these people, they send letters, and Dustin Nemos does too. It's unbelievable how much these so-called truth tellers that are for free speech are trying to censor me. They actually send letters to the U.S. Embassy and to the government.
No shit.
In Georgia.
They go that far.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I have free rental space in these people's brains. It's flattering, actually.
Why are they so, all these people are compromised. All these people that have shows, you're hearing about people like the Health Ranger. You have that guy. What's that guy's name again? The Health Ranger.
Dean Ryan. What a weirdo.
Wait a minute, hold on. The Health Ranger. What's that guy's name again? I'm forgetting.
Mike Adams.
Mike Adams. There we go. Yes, there was like audio leaked out. Alex Jones is talking about how Mike Adams is trying to take him down, and he's always known that. And I thought these guys were like business partners, and now there's a lot of shadiness between these camps of people.
Anything going on with Alex Jones is just a big show. Like he's got to be the biggest fake human out there.
It goes Michael, back to what I understand. I do know, but I just can't believe how many all these folks though are completely compromised. I can't understand it. Is what I'm trying to convey to both of you. I don't know.
You know what is going on. If they have more than 100 listeners or followers, they're agents.
They're agents.
Yeah. Absolutely, Daniel. And Michael, you notice, I mean, I was the new kid on the block. So I came in here, and then all of a sudden I started getting on all these shows. Stu Peters, Mike Adams, and SGT Report, Gareth Ike. I mean, I've been doing some pretty big shows. And they all thought I was part of their controlled opposition gang. And they thought I was going to be following the strip. Like when I went on Redacted, I don't know if you saw Clayton Morris and his wife's reaction. They were literally speechless. Their eyes were like popping out of their head. But it was live. And so when I go on live, I just speak the truth, which to me doesn't seem all that odd. Like when I'm on with you, we're just having a conversation. But they think that I'm following the script. And when I go off the script, they don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
So usually they either censor me or they like block the episode and then you can't find it anymore.
That's one thing I do like about you, Victor. I know that you're not blowing smoke up our asses. I hate to be crude here, but that's one of the reasons why I do like you, Victor. You've been quite rebellious, and I appreciate that spirit. I am of the same cut, just like you, my friend. Very rebellious. And Jane right here, Jane Tracy, she's saying, it all comes down to money. They all hate each other behind the scenes. And there is some truth to that, Jane. I've seen it. I've been around a lot of big name people, some of the biggest ones you could think of. And a lot of shit talking goes on behind the scenes. And I could only imagine what they say about me. So I already know. I've heard all kinds of people dumping on each other, dunking on each other. That's a new term for the young audience there. Yeah, a lot of that goes on between all these folks out there, and it's really mind-blowing, Victor.
Yeah, and I feel the same way about you, Michael, because you and I are on the fringe. It's cool because we're kind of like those bands like the Pixies and Iggy Pop.
We're like an indie band.
We have, we have our group of people who know that we are here, and they spread the word through word of mouth. But you won't find us on Top 40 radio, for example. I'm just making
This is true. You're not wrong.
Because, you'll find Dan Bongino, you'll find Candace Owens, you'll find Nick Fuentes, and I'm like, okay, those people are all compromised. You don't get to be at that level.
No.
Unless you've agreed to some sort of thing.
That's right, like unless you owe. When you start out, that's a different story. Go ahead, Daniel, get in there.
I'll start.
Oh, no, I'm saying get in there,
copy people and clone them. Like if you have a certain guest on or a certain topic that you're going after, you just see all these big names doing the exact same thing like the next day.
Michael, if they cloned you and I, they'd have to put some extra junk in the trunk there because you and I are packing some serious stuff down there.
That's what I heard.
So that's why they haven't. That's why they haven't cloned us yet.
Well, I appreciate that. Yes, it's true though. I mean, a lot of these people, Victor, talking a lot of shit behind the scenes. They all pretend to like each other, but in the back, they're all willing to drive that knife behind your back there at any given moment. But yes, there's a lot of beefs going on with a lot of these big name influencer types. A lot of people that have these big shows that they're allowed to say whatever they want. They're allowed. The algorithm favors them. Someone like myself and Victor and even Daniel. The algorithm doesn't like us, that's for sure. They are against us.
That's one of the reasons why I try to kind of focus on, just people instead of the big names, because that's exactly how it is. Like a lot of them, they just have these giant egos and they backstab each other. They don't even want anything to do with you unless you have a million views, that sort of thing.
Well, I told you, Michael, when you and I did the show last week, I went to bed and there was 900 and something views. I woke up and you were back down to like 800.
No, that happens all the time. I'm glad you saw that though for yourself, Victor. I mean, I see that all the time on JWTube. This is like my 10th channel, to be honest with you. And it's remarkable. I mean, the subscriber count goes down, the views go down. It happens all the time. And people, I guess, they email me all the time and they tell me the same thing that you're telling me, basically. And I'm not surprised. That's just the way it goes.
With you, Michael, I've literally watched, every time you start to get a lot of subscribers and your numbers start shooting up, your channel disappears.
Pretty much. That's right.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how I realized. I'm like, you know what? We're over the target, man. And I know that we're reaching a lot more people than they want us to believe. I've actually called 1-800 numbers and gotten through to the operator, and the operator's like, oh, you're Victor Hugo. I listened to your show. What are the odds of that? I mean, who calls a random 1-800 number and gets through to an operator? And then people have told me, oh, yeah, I was at a grocery store the other day and the guy in line in front of me was watching your show on his phone. And he's like, oh, yeah, I watched it. Another guy tells me that he had a AAA pick him up because his car broke down. And the guy who was AAA was listening to my show on the radio. So it's like, wait a minute, these are too random and it doesn't make sense because according to the channels that I'm on, I have over 6,000 subscribers, which is more than that, but that's what they tell me I have. And of the 6,000 subscribers, there's like 100 views. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So less than 0.1 of the people that are subscribed to the channel, they get notifications or watching the show. Okay, yes, I believe that.
But yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. They know 99% of people are going to get so discouraged from that stuff, they'll just give up on it.
Oh yeah, that's what they tried originally. That's what they tried to do because I was like, wow, I was getting 100,000 views on video, and then I did a report on how the Jews have dual citizenship in the United States, Senate, Congress, and Pentagon and everything. I said, whoa, this is a clear and present danger. How can you have loyalty to Israel and then loyalty to the United States? I thought you were supposed to have loyalty to the U.S. first. Holy cow, the very next day, I went from 100,000 views to 120-something views. And then I said, you know what, they're censoring me. And I was feeling demoralized for about 2 days. And then I said, you know what, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction. F them. And I kept doing it. And now I do it balls to the wall, man. Now I'm just going full force. Screw.
Understood. And by the way, those of you that are listening, I mean, you could join the conversation, by the way, just in case you forgot. That number is 424-2. What is the number? I'm forgetting. 285, right? 6699.
285. Yeah, people were wondering, did you do that on purpose with the 6699?
I did.
Yeah, that's clever.
I love that. Yeah, 424-285-6699. If you do want to call in, the lines have always been open, by the way, but yes, call in if you'd like. And my God, someone asked, by the way, I didn't see this until just right now. They're saying, Michael, Victor, have you seen the beef between Dan And Nick Fuentes online, both calling each other feds. I could barely see that from here. You mean Dan, that one guy, right? The
Bilzerian, yeah.
Bilzerian, there we go. Yes, that guy. Yeah, the guy that used to buy the escorts and parade around them before Andrew Tate hit the scene. The steroid guy. That's the way I knew him. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, they're calling each other feds. And, well, couldn't both be true? Couldn't they both be informants of by the feds? I would say
it's a puppet show.
I would say so too. I would say they're both compromised, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe they are
what about,
as clean as a whistle. I don't know.
About Candace Owens and Laura Loomer?
Well, those two are very compromised. Very heavily compromised. I think Victor would agree as well. That all of these people, these major influencers of sorts, these talking heads, they are as corrupt and compromised as Tucker Carlson is.
Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed this, Michael, but it seems to be that this so-called alternative news media and truth teller community is like the World Wrestling Federation. I noticed that these people, they purposefully try to start like antagonistic and brawls and stuff, just like they did in the World Wrestling Federation, but it's all fake.
I like that. That's true. It is all fake. You start finding out they're all doing business behind their backs, and they're all rubbing their hands together, like the guy on your screen, like the Jew. That sound.
Yeah. So it's like I've really grown disgusted with the whole thing, and that's why I just do my own thing, man. They a lot of these people, like you were mentioning, the two people in the beginning who were trying to get attention. Some of them are just fringe people who are trying to start beefs with me because they want me to mention them. And like I said, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction. They know that they're idiots.
Well, so, Victor, I mean, let's be honest, though. I mean, Victor, for all intended purposes and all due respect, I feel like you do kind of like to fight with them a little bit, though. You know, you like to get in the ring with them.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. If you sling shit at me, I'm going to sling shit right back. And then not only am I going to sling shit, I'm going to throw a bucket of diarrhea over your head.
You enjoy it, though, Victor, is what I'm saying. You kind of like it a little bit. You know, like, you like going back and forth. You know, you like that.
I do. Yes, I do. I must say, it's fun.
I know you do, Victor. That's why I like you, Victor. You know.
And people sometimes get surprised because these are faggots.
It's all in fun, though.
Fake name and avatar.
It's all in fun, though, Victor. I mean, come on.
Yeah. It totally is. Yeah. So I give it back to them. I give it right back to them, and then they're shocked. And then it's funny because they come up to me and call me a cunt.
Oh,
and then I elevate it
wow.
to nuclear level. You know, it's like, oh, you're going to call me a cunt, really? Oh, okay. And then I go way beyond that. You know, and then they're like, oh my God, you're so rude, this and that. I'm like, wait a minute, you just called me a cunt, and now you're upset because I called you like a cunt times 1,000. Go fuck yourself, you know?
See, this is the version that Daniel knows.
Yeah. Personally, like, I think what they're doing is they're just trying to create kind of a web of chaos around you, just to get you to, not talk about the things you usually talk about, and basically try to make you look crazy.
That's fine. I don't care. Maybe I am a little bit crazy. How can I not be crazy? I'm living in a world where so-called Americans are okay with babies being raped, tortured, murdered, and eaten.
That's right.
But they're upset about a black guy named George Floyd who held a gun to a pregnant woman's belly, raped her after like robbing her, and then ended up dying of a fentanyl overdose. And they caused billions of dollars worth of destruction and killed some people and everything. I'm like, wait a minute. If you're calling me crazy, then you're fucking, I don't know what you are. But,
that's right.
Give me a break. I'm pointing it out with colorful language. And I love cursing because you know what? As an artist, I'm able to use every color on the palette and every word in the English language. And you can look up the word cunt in the dictionary. It's spelled C-U-N-T. And you can look up the word fuck in the English language. It's called F-U-C-K. And then get back to me. I'm not making these words up. They're out there. They're available. And if you fit the description, then, there you go. I've just described you as a fucking cunt.
Love that. Yes, we appreciate that here very much, Victor. And I agree with EP's Big Adventure. He's saying doesn't get funnier than the sewer Jews in Brooklyn a few years back.
Yeah, that's another thing.
What happened to that story, by
man.
the way, Victor? Years went by and we heard nothing again after the initial videotape.
Yeah, it's good to be a Jew. It really is. That's why I self-identify as a fat black Jewish lesbian taco.
There you go.
Trapped in a man's body with Asperger's syndrome. And a Soros Holocaust survivor who dated Anne Frank. There's more Holocaust survivors now than ever before. The numbers just keep going up. You guys should claim to be Holocaust survivors too.
I might have to.
Oh yeah.
I already identify as a. I already identify Daniel and Victor as a gay, trans, black, Christian, Jew. I mean that's up there.
Yeah,
I'm Jewish, I'm trans, and those things are related.
There you go.
Personally, I'm Jewish, I'm a trans woman, and I'm queer, and those are related.
Oh, I forgot the queer.
And the queer, yes, that's important. And they are related.
I'm Jewish, I'm trans, and I'm queer, and those three are related.
That's why I get surprised when I go on shows like Redacted. And again, I got nothing against Clayton Morris or his wife. They were cool enough to have me on their show. I appreciate that. But when people get surprised,
are they really that cool though, Victor? I mean, the sort of husband and wife combination. It's a little,
Yeah. Well, they have me on the show.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yes, let's be respectful. I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to ruin the potential next gig over there with those boys. I take it back. I didn't mean that.
Well, it's not just that. Honestly, it's like I think it takes guts to have me on the show. And I respect anybody who takes the chance of having me on their show. Because the thing is, I get that I'm outspoken. And nowadays, you're not supposed to be outspoken. And so anybody who has me on their show is basically pushing the envelope.
Well, you're a product of America, Victor. You are a reflection of an America that once existed, that no longer exists today. That's the way I view you, Victor. In all seriousness, you represent something strong and fierce, and we really appreciate that in you. But I fear, though, Victor, this is one thing. If as soon as your feet touch American soil, I think the feds will get you, Victor. This is what I truly believe.
Yeah, amazing. I would have been better off eating babies than speaking truth to power. That's why the people here in the former Soviet Union and Russia and Ukraine, they're like, wow, Victor, there's more free speech for you outside of the United States than in the United States. And people are noticing. And people are not wanting, before it used to be that they wanted to go to the USA because they thought it was the American dream. The world has realized that there is no such thing. The American dream is dead. So I don't know what the Americans are thinking, but the world outside knows that you're just a facade. You're the World Wrestling Federation in the world's eyes. They know you're fake and gay, by the way.
Fake and gay.
Because, fake and gay.
Wow.
Because nowadays, you got to be gay or a tranny or black or...
hermaphrodite.
It's just so weird.
Maybe.
All the women in America are lesbians. They just want your seed, and then they're going to get all that child support from you. And then they're just going to kill you with it.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, what happened? I go away, and then, like you said, I don't even want to go back, honestly.
Wait, Victor, are you telling me you don't want to pay $6.20 for a gallon of gas?
There'll be a lot more here in California, by the way.
20 cents for a carton of eggs.
Holy cow. There's no fat girls here, by the way, just so you know. All these girls are Russian and Ukrainian. They're tight, they're fit.
They're starving.
Tall. They're tall, man. They're freaking gorgeous. I go to the United States. The moment I land, I'm sure I'm going to see like whales. I'm going to think I think I landed at SeaWorld. I'm like, when did SeaWorld get a freaking airport?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. Too many of these ladies over here are on that KFC fried chicken diet.
That KFC diet, yeah.
Like
Good
Kim
grief.
Kardashian is how they all want to look. That's the model.
Well, actually, it's the Ozempic nowadays, by the way. That's the new thing on the block. I've been seeing a lot of family and friends on Ozempic. They are looking like Holocaust survivors now, Victor and Daniel.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Ooh,
Holy
it's
cow,
bad.
they look skeletal.
They look
it's not
fucked.
Good for you.
No, it's not good. They look
but they
terrible.
think they look sexy, huh?
Yeah, being all sucked in and they think this is like a miracle drug. I think this is bad, bad, bad. It doesn't get any worse than this, by the way. It is terrible, very terrible. It's as bad as Caitlyn Jenner, and that's pretty bad.
That ironic thing is you can literally just not eat and you'll have the same benefits.
But people are lazy. We're talking, but this is America you're talking about. Everybody wants a shortcut to everything, especially weight loss. They don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to do the sweating, the changing of clothes and showering. These are lazy people. Yeah, they want the KFC. They want to be able to fit underneath a door. That's how skinny they want to be. They want to be rail thin, essentially. But it's the truth. It is the truth. And I'm seeing, again, family, friends, just people I know out there. They're all on that shit, by the way, on the Ozempic. They're miracle drug. But yeah, they look, again, like Holocaust survivors. It is pretty bad.
Did you say anything to them? Do you tell them, hey, look, you look like a Holocaust survivor?
I just say you look bad. You don't look healthy. You look sunken in.
And what do they say?
Well, they're still on their high horse. They think they look great. So it must have some sort of, there must be something in Ozempic that has some sort of mental effect on them to make them believe that they look good this way. There's got to be some sort of chemical imbalancement that I'm sure we'll be finding out about in about 10 years from now.
It doesn't help that all these guys nowadays, they are such chicken shit little bitches, and they blame all kinds of things, anxiety, this and that. They can't even walk up to a woman and say, hello, can I have your phone number, anything like that. Everything has to be swipe left or, all these dating sites and shit like that. It's like these guys nowadays, they're little boys.
Holy shit, man. Yeah, I can't go back to the US like that. No way.
You don't miss America, Victor, not even a little bit.
Fuck no, man. Dude, I'm surrounded by hot Russian and Ukrainian chicks. I mean, please, give me a break. It's either that or chicks on a KFC diet with an attitude.
Or chicks with dicks.
Or chicks with dicks. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that over here. The chicks have vaginas the way God meant it.
You don't got to do the little schlong test.
Schlong test, yes.
Good grief.
That reminds me, though. I've told this story numerous times on the air over the years, but I grew up with, again, I lived in Central California. Look it up on a map. It's a heavily agriculture, sort of, a lot of farmers. A lot of different backgrounds, mostly Hispanic. A lot of Caucasians out there. I'm telling you, and there was one kid in particular who was always very popular in high school. Very nice guy, very good looking, parents loaded like a JW, but he was not a Jew. But after high school, I remember he went to a bar in TJ. That's Tijuana, Mexico. Mexico. And he's at a club, Victor and Daniel. He's getting his freak on. He's finding this hot broad. She's got the fake implants. She's got the, I guess that was a man's ass, but at the time he didn't know it. He's dancing around with this hot broad that he thought was a biological woman, and things are getting a little intense. They're getting closer, and he takes her to the end of the bar there in a corner, in a dark corner, and they start making out. He's rounding the bases. He's touching tits and ass, and he's trying to round the home plate there. He's trying to get a finger in there too. And next thing you know, when he lifts up that skirt and reaches in there, he grabs some grapefruit there.
Oh my.
And this is based on a true story, by the way. I've been telling the story for numerous years now, and this is a real thing, by the way. I'm not making that up. That is true. That
happened to me.
Scary.
Yeah, sadly, you're not the only person to tell me a story like that.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was 13. I was in Brazil. And I was
no wonder.
You were in Brazil.
Yeah, I was hanging out with some friends, and they were like, "Hey Vic, we're gonna take you out Friday night," and I'm 13 years old, so I'm like, "Oh, hanging out." And they did the cruising thing in the car. They put me in the back seat, and everybody's there drinking and having fun. In Brazil, you can drink and drive. So they take me to this street where there's all these, I thought they were women, and they're in these bikinis and stuff, and they've got big boobs, and they looked all, like chicks. And so they're all telling me, grab her tits, grab her down there. So I'm 13 years old. I'm like, wow, man, this is fantastic. Wasn't like that in the States. And then so I'm grabbing the boobies, and I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. And then they told me to grab her down there, and I grab her down there, and holy cow, man, there's junk down there that, and I was like, I started screaming. They all started laughing. They did that. It was a joke.
Tranny surprise.
Yeah, it was a tranny surprise, man. I was 13 years old. I got scarred.
Yeah, damn. That would have ruined. Dude, that would have ruined me, by the way, Victor.
Nah, it was funny. They were all goofing on me. It was fun. I had a great time. It was great. Brazil's great. If you ever get a chance, go down there. Fantastic.
Damn, Victor. That's shocking to me, by the way. That's dramatic. Grabbing a pair.
Yeah, I got over it. That was the first and only time I ever had that experience, and I'm glad it happened to me at a young age. That way, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I got to look for that Adam's apple sometimes. You're out here in California. You got to make sure.
Did you ever go to Tijuana, by the way?
I've been there numerous times, yes, but nothing where like I'm gonna go to a nightclub of sorts. And that's one thing I'm gonna have to admit to you, Daniel and Victor. And again, I don't mean to say this to upset anybody, to offend any guys that have done this, but I've never in my life have gone and paid for an escort or any of these sort of things. And over in TJ and in Mexico, anywhere out there, there's all sorts of places you can go and bang it out with women from all sorts of different places. And they all work in these areas. And TJ is very much known for that over in Tijuana. Those of you out here in California know what's up. But yes, you could pay for all sorts of different services. And I've never done that before in my entire life. I guess I've been curious about it. I'm like, I've thought about it before. I'm like, it'd be a fun experience. But I've never actually done that, though. I've never actually fully gone through it, by the way. And again, no disrespect to any men who have done that. I mean, that's all your deal. And I'm all about freedom of choice. And if you do that, that's all you. I don't hate anybody for doing what they got to do in life. I'm all with you.
I love prostitutes because
oh my God.
Like if you're a nerdy guy and you're covered with acne or you're extremely overweight or you're just tragically shy, it's pretty much your only chance of having sex.
By the way, you have somebody in the chat that makes a good point. They say, yes, you have, Michael. You've had a girlfriend. Movie dates, dinner dates, flowers. Yeah, it's actually cheaper
I've heard
to have
that.
a prostitute
I've heard these sort
than
of
it
things
is to
before.
get married. Look at Jeff Bezos. That guy was married to some chick. Now she's like the wealthiest woman in the world.
That's true.
Melania.
Yeah. So yeah, you're better off. You're better off with a prostitute than you are with marrying a woman or dating a woman. It ends up costing you a lot more money in the long run.
Melania played her cards right. Can we admit that? I know she takes a lot of knocks here. She's been knocked around a lot in her life. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, though, she played her cards right. Now she's in the White House and doesn't really have any talent or anything that makes her special. But she's in the White House and she's the first lady. So, I mean, you got to give it up to her just a tiny bit. And that's probably the nicest thing I'll ever say here, by the way.
She's not even living with him. They're technically divorced, but they signed a contract that she would maintain the
image.
The image, because they don't want the president getting divorced. But yeah, she hasn't been with him, and she has admitted that. And yeah, it's all a show. Again, America is fake and gay. Officially on the world stage, America's fake and gay.
I don't disagree. I mean, we've heard stories for many moons now that yes, she was one of these sort of call girls, a sort of escort of sorts. And that's exactly how she met the Don. These are allegedly, that's what they claim. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's out there.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've always thought it was weird how the United States and the Bavarian Illuminati both started in 1776.
Yeah, that's no coincidence. You're absolutely right.
No, there's
By the
no
way,
coincidences.
if you ever go to Tijuana, it's interesting because the moment you cross the border, at least if you're walking, it's all pharmaceuticals.
That's right.
Like there's blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks of cheap pharmaceuticals. People go there to get their drugs at like a third of the price.
That's
it's just
right.
incredible how Americans are fleeced.
Yep. You're not lying. A lot of people in America go over there to get their meds. This is a fact. And yes, she looks good for her age, Duke, I admit.
I'm going to get the hell out of the city and go way out in the boonies before they do another COVID or a microchip or something worse.
Well, that you got to plan to do it soon. I mean, I'm telling you, the global health authorities are racing to contain a hantavirus outbreak that began on a cruise ship, I believe, early in April. The hentai virus. Accidentally typed it into a browser, and I thought this isn't exactly what I was looking for. But that's another story.
Are you guys wearing masks right now?
Actually, I am.
Yeah, I've even got one over my penis.
That's the best way to wear it. Yes.
I've heard.
Good idea around all those Ukrainian women.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard you could get hantaherpes. So
hantaherpes, I like that. By the way, Victor and Daniel, out here, I'm in Southern California. I'm in Huntington Beach, and I go and hang out at the beaches every now and then, more often than not. And gentlemen, I got to tell you, I see people walking around at the beach wearing a mask. I've seen it more than once, and it's usually my Asian brothers. It's pretty sad. The Asian brothers are out there. Yeah, they're all Asian. Yeah, they're all Asian, Daniel. Every person I see wearing a mask is Asian. It's pretty outrageous.
Well, I do have to say though, in China, that's normal. Even before the COVID,
right? That's true.
I was wearing a mask because it's so weird, man. Almost on a daily basis, they would have these huge trucks that would just put out pesticide, and it would spray it all over the place. And I would ride my bike, and my God, I had to have a mask on because like you would inhale the pesticides. There's no like environmental protection agency over there. And so for so many reasons, I used to wear a mask in China. So everybody wore a mask in China. Yeah, that was before the COVID.
There's that thing where they say that the elite or the Illuminati, after they kill everybody off, they're only going to keep the Asians because the Asians are like so beat down by their governments already. They're pretty much guaranteed to obey.
They'll obey. Yeah, that's true.
That's what the Asians told me. That's what the Chinese told me when I was there. But the thing is, they said that they know the plan and that they're planning on doing the double cross. That's why I have faith that China and Russia, I know they're in on it right now, because everything that we're seeing right now is
there's going to be another one. Victor, you know there's going to be another one. They're going to try hard. That's what the elites want. Daniel, you know that as well. You know they are trying hard to. That's why they released all these people all over the place here in America, different states, parts of this country here. They are really trying hard to get another sort of crisis going on. They're that's what's going on right now, and chances are we're probably going to see another one of these COVID events going down again, another lockdown of sorts.
By the way, do you think you'll be doing shows during the famine and during the will we still be on and doing these shows, or are you?
I'm going to try, Victor. I'm going to try.
Ham radio.
Yeah, on ham radio, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to still be doing this show, man, but I'm going to be. I'm nestled in between the Caucasus Mountains and the Black Sea. So even if there's a nuclear fallout, I'm like really, it'd be hard for the stuff to get to me, and there really wouldn't be any invasion because you just go up into the mountains here. This place has been around for over 5,000 years.
It's beautiful where you are, by the way. I've seen it plenty of times in my life. I've seen a lot of videos, known people that lived in Georgia, believe it or not. So I know all about it.
Yeah, it's hard to invade here. It's like Afghanistan because what they do is they just go up into the mountains then they shoot down. And then good luck trying to find everybody because there's like caves and stuff. So I would just be chilling out in the caves and waiting for, everything to go by. Remember, Russia tried to take Afghanistan. They couldn't. The United States tried to take Afghanistan. They couldn't. It's a different kind of warfare. And that's why they're going to lose with Iran. And that's why every time Trump says, "Oh, we won the war," it's like, yeah, right, dude.
Yeah, those people love getting bombed.
Yeah. So,
boy.
So it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna keep doing the show as long as I can, but it's gonna be hard to be like doing a show and trying to be funny while people are starving,
are dying, or getting blown up. I know, but it's what's funny is we haven't heard a word about the Epstein files. We haven't heard a word about what's going on in this war with Iran, with Israel. We haven't really heard much.
Well, one thing I do want to bring up real quick is there's some real bad stuff going on out there in the oceans right now. Huge coral reefs turning gray, tons and tons of huge whales just washing up on the beach, dying of starvation. This literally feels like that part in Revelations where they talk about wormwood hitting the waters and killing like a third of the sea life.
Really?
What the hell is wormwood?
A star that falls into the water and poisons the water. It's just like symbolic, but it's symbolic of all the life that's going to be destroyed at the end.
I'm seeing the story now, by the way. It's a potential record whale deaths along Washington's coast. That's what I'm seeing here in headlines. So yeah, the whales are washing up on the West Coast. I didn't even know about that, by the way. That's interesting. That's true. One washed up in Long Beach, which is not far from where I am. Matter of fact, according to this article I just looked up right now. But yes, well, that's pretty interesting. Wonder what's doing them in.
You should go out there and carve up some of that meat and throw it in an ice freezer or something, because you're going to be running out of food.
So you're running out of food, yeah.
The whales.
I hope not, Victor.
That's actually something I've thought a lot about, and that's why I do want to be located near the water. Hopefully, I can at least eat some oysters.
You like oysters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not with it, man. I can't do oysters. I like seafood, but oysters, not so much.
What about you, Victor?
I didn't used to like oysters until this hot chick told me that she got turned on by oysters, and then I liked oysters because she was right.
That's one way of looking at it, all right?
Something going on there, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Nature's
Viagra. Is that what they call that?
I got to be careful because I could be totally honey trapped. I really dig chicks. I'm not gay.
So you're saying you could be easily seduced? Is that what you're saying, Victor?
Totally. Like if they had come to me and been like, "Hey, listen, we got some hot chicks on Epstein Island," I would have been on that list, man.
Oh my goodness!
You know that guy in that show, Austin Powers, the detective guy, and that fat guy saying, "Put the babies in my belly." That'd have been me.
Oh, fat bastard.
Yeah, the fat bastard. That'd have been me on the Epstein Island.
Get in me belly.
Get in me belly.
That's right. I understand.
That shit was so funny.
I'm a sucker for a pretty face, man.
Well,
I want $1 million.
Well, Victor, I think it's time you go out there and go on a hunt there, Victor. I mean, the land is there for you.
Yeah, like this girl here in the video that you're playing with those huge tatas. Forget about it. I'd be like, okay, where do you want to go? Epstein Island? Let's do it. I heard they got fresh babies there. Throw them on the grill.
By the way, some people were claiming that you were rich, Victor. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm a billionaire sleeping on a couch.
That's what some people claimed. I don't know why they're saying that, but a lot of people say a lot of weird things.
That's okay. Listen, I'll take it. I'm a multi-gazillionaire.
Hear that, ladies?
You got an attractive wallet for you.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I lean
Eastern European women.
Yeah.
I lean into the nonsense, man. People tell me I'm a quadruple CAA, double Mossad, triple agent, that I'm gay, that I'm a Jew. I'm like, yes, absolutely.
And these things are related.
And they're related. That's true.
Yeah. Just lean into it, man. I've noticed that. When you lean into it, you disarm them because they don't know what to say. They expect you to say, no, I'm not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm a billionaire. I've been on Epstein's Island. I hung out with Epstein and Trump. Ghislaine Maxwell's my best friend. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You ain't going to do shit.
That's right.
Nobody's doing shit about Epstein. Worry about the aliens. Don't worry about me and the babies that I've eaten, you know?
Epstein must have had the most privileged life ever. I mean, he's got his own island. He's involved with DNA, genetics, time travel, all kinds of like interesting, time travel,
everything,
all kinds of crazy, interesting stuff. But at the same time, he's a pedophile, which kind of ruins it.
I don't know about that, man. Apparently, pedophilia is the way to go now. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a pedophile and you're a psychopath and you're a compulsive liar, you get to be
you're in the club at that point.
You're in the club, man.
That's right.
If you're not a pedophile, you need to get hip with it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting pedophilia. The USA is promoting pedophilia. So don't take this out of context here. I'm not saying that pedophilia is good. The United States is saying pedophilia is good. Because you know what? They're bringing out this alien bullshit, and I'm still wondering what the hell's going on with the pedophiles on the Epstein file list. Nobody's been investigated. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been held accountable. That tells me and the rest of the world that the United States is cool with pedophilia.
Yeah, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that say that they're likely to actually make it legal in the future.
Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Americans are going to be like, yeah, Americans are going to be, okay, as long as I get my basic high income, yeah, fuck the kids.
They're making it seem like it's like this risque, taboo thing for rich people. If you have enough money, you get a piece of that, like the forbidden fruit sort of thing.
And there's a lot of families like that, by the way. People that are not exactly famous, but they know a lot of people that are famous, and they have these families, and they pimp out their daughters or sons if they need to. And it's a big
extra income.
Extra income, that's right.
Extra income, man. You got to do what you got to do. You know, taxes are high. You got to pay your taxes. Pimp out your kids. It's the American way. It's the new American dream. Pump out some kids and pimp them out, baby.
And by the way, one thing that, Victor, I don't think you know this, but I've talked to Stephen D. Kelly on the program plenty of times. And matter of fact, we actually ended up going to same party years ago at the Sharon Tate home, by the way.
Nice.
A few years back. Cool. It was a trip, by the way. There's a lot of famous people there. Chuck Liddell was there. A few other fighters were there. Yeah, a lot of known people were there. And it wasn't the first time I've actually hung out in that area. I've hung out in an even more sort of exclusive sort of area, and let's just say there was a lot of weirdness at this party. I talked to him about it off air, but yeah, he knew exactly where I was, and he knew the deal. But yes, they'll definitely have some normal people just like myself, and oh yes, you can bang away, but under the pretense that they can watch. And that's where I draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to sleep with anybody's wife or anything, and it's been something that's been offered to me more than a few times.
What do they call that? Cuckold?
Yeah, cuckold, I guess you could call it that, but I've had listeners even wanting me to sleep with their wives, and that's where I draw the line, folks. I'm not going to do that, by the way. That's a little too much. Shit. It's a little too much.
You guys are freaks out there.
People are,
Shame
man. Victor, did you know that, by the way, that there are some freaks out there?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if there's any freaks, email me.
Oh, email
VHV. Yeah, email me at vhviipress@msn.com. Send me pictures of your hot wife, and my penis could stretch across the ocean. So,
Victor's available. He's available.
I'll roll it out. I've got the plastic man dick.
Jesus. Yeah, you're more European than I knew.
He's become a full-on libertine.
I know now. You're no longer American. Naturally, you're European now.
Yes.
Officially.
Yes. Those art guys.
Oh my Lord.
They walk around naked, man. Yeah. You could go to the beaches in Europe and the chicks are just letting it all hang out.
Dude, that's too much for me. Again, that's one thing I'm not down to do. Exhibitionism. I'm not going to go to like an all nude beach. It's not really my thing, to be honest with you. And if you guys are into it, more power to you. But it's a little strange for me to see that.
Yeah, there's one in Seattle.
I mean, I go to these sort of what are these sort of areas out here in California? You have these
beaches.
Well, you have all these sort of things, but we have these. Damn, what are these things called? Where a lot of hippies like going to these sort of these outings. See, I don't even know the name because I don't even frequent these. The hot springs. There we go. We have a lot of hot springs, and if you're out here in California and you go to one of these hot springs, you're gonna see a lot of bush, a lot of penis, a lot of breasts, a lot of ass. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be smoking. This is just a normal thing. Yeah, if you go to a hot spring, you're going to see a lot of nude folks, and some of them, for the most part, most of them you don't want to see naked. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
All we do up here is work and drink coffee. We don't have fun up here.
Where do you live? New Jersey?
Seattle.
He's in Seattle.
Okay. Gotcha.
Maron.
Good grief.
Everybody else is having lots of fun.
Jesus Christ. Oh my Lord. Well, Victor, I mean,
Michael's going to the celebrity parties, and Victor's got all those Ukrainian girls.
Man,
yes.
Have you guys ever been to an orgy?
No.
Michael, you never been to an orgy, huh?
Well, again, I've been invited to these sort of things, but I've always declined. Again, that's a little too much for me. I guess I'm not that adventurous when it comes down to it in that regard.
Holy cow.
And you have, Victor. Really?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Where at?
I'm an artist.
That's true.
I had to experience.
You got to experiment a little bit.
Holy cow. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, like beds everywhere, mirrors on the ceiling.
Jeez.
Moaning, groaning, like hot, sweaty, unbelievable. It's just like writhing bodies everywhere. It's really something.
Got a very Roman experience.
The energy in the room is intense because the thing is, it's like there's orgasms going on, like multiple orgasms. There's people having like orgasms and everything.
A lot of sex magic going on there, huh, Daniel?
Yeah, I heard it causes ego loss.
What does that mean?
Basically, like kind of like a depersonalization. Like there's just everybody's orgasming and all over each other. Like your individuality kind of becomes like part of the God mind or something like that.
That's interesting that you say that because what ends up happening is you become part of the energy. It's an energy field that is happening, and there's hands everywhere. It's like all sorts of different people touching you and stuff, and it's like, holy cow. And then the wildest thing is there's mirrors on the ceiling. So when you're looking up at the ceiling, it's like you just see tits and ass everywhere. It's like, whoa. It's really intense. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, I can tell you that. And you don't want to be there with a little dick or a fucking unable to get a hard on. Because you will get thrown out. You will get thrown out. They're like, no way.
You're getting excluded. Wow. Lord.
Like you get a little nervous and your member kind of tucks in a little bit. Everybody thinks you have like a half-inch penis.
No.
The sights and smell. That's all I could think about right now. All that ass all over the place. Lord. It would smell like a county fair in there.
Well, if it's the right place, they have like good smells going on. They have like
that's good.
They have air fresheners and stuff like that.
Because I couldn't imagine any good smell at like, let's say, Burning Man. By the way, Victor, they have those sort of tents there as well.
Yeah, but Burning Man is like the chicks who
a lot of smelly people there.
Smell like patchouli and they have hair under their arms. I was at a orgy where like the chicks were hot and it was like an elites thing. The men were I don't know, billionaires or millionaires or whatever the heck you want to say. All I know is they were totally punching up because all the chicks were super hot. So
good times, I guess, for you, Victor. When was this, by the way?
My God, this was probably in
early 2000s or
early 2000s. Yeah, early 2000s. I was in the prime of my being in Florida in the art world and stuff. I got invited to a lot of gay shit too, but I'm not a fag, so
amazing.
I turned that stuff down.
I could imagine.
Usually, you go to the VIP sections in these clubs, and it turns out that the VIP section's not in the VIP section. It's actually usually either in the basement or in the where they keep the food, which was interesting, the food lockers. And so I was like, okay, because I was in the VIP section because I was doing shows and performances, and sometimes if you want to meet the artist, you have to pay an extra. I was like $15,000 to hang out in the VIP section with me. So I was meeting all these different celebrities and stuff, a lot of sports players, and I'm not into sports, so they would be like, "Oh, this is the famous basketball player. This is the famous football player." I don't watch basketball or football, so to me, they were just another blackie. But they were cool, cool guys. And then they were like, "Okay, listen, we're going to take you into the real VIP section." And I'm like, "What the hell is this?" It turns out all these people doing, crazy stuff, man. Yeah, in the kitchen. Not in the kitchen, but where they keep the food, which I thought was disgusting. I was like, holy shit, man. Whoa. Yeah. You go down into where they keep all the food and stuff. And that's where...
if there's black guys in there, I definitely don't want to pull out my dick. No contest.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because the orgy that I was at, there was no black guys there. So it was interesting.
Oh, well, there's no black guys at Burning Man either, by the way. They know better.
Not that I have any problem with black dicks, because I got no problem with that. I'm happy with what I got.
You don't judge, in other words.
Yeah, I'm not looking at dicks, man. I'm looking at chicks.
Understood.
I'd probably end up getting claimed by one of the black guys.
My goodness. Well, we learned a lot here tonight about Victor. We learned that he has attended an orgy, that he is easily to be compromised if you give him the right price.
He's an international man of mystery.
That too. He's an artist, and a lot of people go after Victor, and it's an unfortunate thing. Our relationship here, Victor, has unfortunately it's been a solid one. I've been enjoying myself with you, Victor, in this gay marriage that we're now in, and it's unfortunate because it's sad because Jim, he's no longer part of the menage a trois anymore. He's no part of the three-way.
Good grief. Can you imagine Jim Fetzer at an orgy? Goodness.
Oh my goodness. Not a visual I need. Thank you, Victor.
with that voice, imagine him. Because the thing is, when you're in that, it becomes a cacophony. It becomes a cacophony of sound. I mean, you hear the women going, and you hear the guys, and then you'd hear Fetzer, It'd be like, oh fuck, what's going on? Who's having a heart attack?
Yes,
oh my God.
very
all sorts of wrong.
Strong visuals that I did not need. My goodness.
Yeah, you don't want to be at an orgy with Jim Fetzer, I can tell you that.
Absolutely, yes. That was a soundbite worthy there, Max. We will have to definitely clip Victor here and add him to the soundboard for providing us some good material.
Good grief.
I have a twist community orgy.
That's
right. Linda Bolton Howell up in there.
Oh my God, she's like 98.
Susan Bradford, Laura Loomer.
Oh, and an orgy. Oh my God, Victor,
Laura Loomer would blow the whole room.
You're gonna make me faint thinking about Laura Loomer, Larry Loomer. They call it.
Yeah, I heard Candace Owens is also a man. Did you hear that? There's rumors going around that she's got a dick.
But what is that though? Let's be honest. Why is it that that's like a conspiracy sort of thing that you hear in all these circles about different women having some meat there between the thighs, and it's like all kinds of women that in my opinion, aren't guys, but people on the internet, they fully believe that some of these people are some of these women are biological men. And I'm just wondering, when did all that start? Daniel, do you know when that began?
I probably the Michelle Obama thing, but I know what you're talking about, and some of that stuff just goes way too far. Like pretty much every woman in Hollywood or the music industry gets called a man.
And I'm thinking, are they trolling us? Is that what's going on? Is there people that are just trolling? They're just saying that shit just to get someone to repeat it. It almost feels that way with social engineering and obviously social media, part of the social engineering. But again, a lot of men out there, they say that, oh, that's actually a guy. Victor, I'm sure you know that as well, that you hear this.
Yeah, well, Lady Gaga, who I met, by the way, early on, I almost became part of the whole Lady Gaga thing.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was able to, because I was being a bit of a snob. I said, Lady Gaga, that's a weird name. And where I met her was at a clothing store. When she first started out her career, she was quite literally performing at a clothing boutique.
Really?
On Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, yeah. And it was just, she was on this little platform stage, and she did a half-hour show. And this was before she became famous. So Guy introduced me to her. He said, listen, you should do a modern art music movement with her. Let her know that you're doing the whole synesthesia thing. You can perform with her on stage. But I guess stupid me, I was like, she's over here performing at a clothing store on this little stage and with the ridiculous name Lady Gaga. So I just met her, said hello, had a little bit of a chat with her, but I didn't really bring up the whole modern art music movement thing. And then like 6 months later, I hear her, she's all over the radio with #1 song. Well, now she's Lady Gaga.
Right.
But it's a good thing I didn't get involved with her, because I would have been probably involved with her at the onset. We would have been doing shows. And next thing you know, I would have been at those cannibal parties with her and that, who's that witch that she hangs out with? Marina
Abramovic.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I've dodged a couple of bullets, man. Like I said, I may have been at an orgy, but I've never been to Epstein Island. And then when Michael Simpkins, the owner of Club 11 in Miami, he found out that I was stranded here in the former Soviet Union. He goes, listen, I'll fly my private jet over to pick you up, but you got to show me good faith. He goes, you got to send me 1 Bitcoin. You send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 10 Bitcoin and pick you up in my private jet. And I was like, dude, I don't even have money to pay the rent. How am I going to get 1 Bitcoin for you? He goes, do whatever you got to do. And then he was telling me he's got Club 11, which is where P. Diddy used to go to procure his victims for his freak-off parties on Star Island, because that's just walking distance, quite literally, from Club 11, which is a 24-hour strip club, which is frequented by Drake and all these other black rap and hip-hop artists, and white chicks wanted to get with black guys. So major money laundering, major like prostitution and stuff.
Human trafficking, all of it.
Totally involved with the mayor and the Miami. It's so corrupt. That's one of the things I learned when I was in the nightclub industry in Miami, is how corrupt it is.
Shit is dirty out there, yeah.
Yeah, it's totally dirty. So he goes, listen, we're doing the Club 11 hotel and residences. We can do a Victor Hugo collection museum downstairs, and we can set up a stage so you can do modern art music movement events. People who come to perform at the Club 11, he goes, we're going to make you rich and famous. And like I said, I'll go over there and pick you up in my private jet. But I was like, how the hell am I going to get you 1 Bitcoin, man? Like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. And
that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, Michael Simpkins is a Jew. As soon as I found out, I told a friend of mine who I have on a show, he's called The Last Dutchman. I said, listen, this guy's giving me this offer. He goes, let me ask you something. He goes, is he a Jew? I said, yeah. He goes, don't trust him. I said, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, Yom Kippur is coming up. I said, yeah. He goes, well, during Yom Kippur, the Jews say the Kol Nidre prayer, and they absolve themselves of any commitment, contract, vow, or agreement that they made. He goes, he's trying to scam you. He's basically... The Jews get off on scamming the goy. He goes, you're a goy. So I
so he was doing this. He was doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? So I contacted him. I'm like, listen, man, you claim you really want to help me. You claim he's the Greater Miami Jewish Federation community leader.
Ay
He's seen
vey.
as all these guys are seen as philanthropists. Like Epstein was seen as a philanthropist. Les Wexner has his name in
Yeah.
Harvard, one of the schools there, and he's also all these creeps are seen as philanthropists, but they're all like scam artists. So anyway, I exposed his ass too. Good thing I didn't end up doing that because he would have had me at the Diddy party.
The freak off.
And who knows?
The baby oil.
Diddy would have. Yeah, he would have slipped me something, and next thing you know, I would have been squealing like Justin Bieber and Drake.
Yeah, you would have been walking funny.
Yeah. So I've dodged some bullets, man.
Damn. What do you say about that, Daniel? I know you gotta. Yeah, I know you want to jump in there.
Big guy's looking out for you.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
Ooh, that's right. Yes, he saved your virginity.
My faith in God. Yeah. My ass is an exit only, man.
Man. Yeah, I guess you have dodged some
I would
bullets
love
there.
to be able to corner Lady Gaga, though. I'd be like, is it true? Are you a Luciferian? Are you an Illuminati? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
Oh, yeah, those people are, man. That's the thing. Once you get involved in that, that's why, like I said, seriously, I've dodged some bullets because once you get into that group, they compromise you. And so, yeah, once you're compromised, I mean, you wake up and your ass is sore and you're freaking bloody. And then they're like, hey, man, listen, we want you to come to another party. And you're just like, fuck, what happened to me?
Right.
Like, why is my ass bleeding?
Yeah.
And you don't really want anybody to know. So you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll be at the party. Then you go to the next party. And then you see people eating babies, and you're like, "What the fuck is this, man?"
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, we got footage of you getting booty busted by P. Diddy and all these other people. Do you want to see?"
Can you imagine though how devious someone has to be to do that to another person, to drug them? That is next level, like fucking crazy. You got to be honest. But doing the act to somebody, by the way, actually physically shoving, your member downstairs there, sodomizing somebody. I mean, that is crazy to do. Like, what even goes through your mind to even do something like that? I don't think people really talk about how heinous, how morally wrong, how immoral, how unnatural that is to do to somebody, especially all drugged up and shit.
Yeah, it's like a demonic influence.
Dude, that's next level fucking crazy. What the fuck?
You know what you got to get? I've played it on my show. Meek Mill's getting booty busted by P. Diddy. Have you heard that video or the audio of it?
Not sure I have. No.
I'll send you the link.
Wow.
And, man, I'll tell you, next time, play it on the show. It's really disturbing. Meek Mill's is like squealing like a pig in that movie.
Oh my goodness.
And P. Diddy's just giving it to him fucking hard, man. It's unbelievable, these people. It's really disgusting.
It's pretty outrageous.
It's gross, man.
That is outrageous.
Yeah.
Well, Victor, I'm looking at the time here, and we've been on here a good solid time, and I really appreciate your time, you staying up, or it's actually the morning where you are actually, right?
Yeah, it's 8:45. After this, I'm going to snort some Coke, down some whiskey, and hit the beach.
Oh my God, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, and then after that, I'm going to the baby eating party.
Oh, with the Jews.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Well, you got everything figured out there, Victor. It seems like you are living a very solid moral life.
Yes, it's a Christian life. It's the new American way.
Yes, the Israeli life. Yes, it's quite amazing. But Victor, any parting words here before we say goodbye and part ways here, and we can exchange hugs later?
Yeah, be good to the aliens. They're not here to harm you. They're here to save you. Believe everything the U.S. government tells you. Love the Jews and hate yourself.
That's a good message.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, visit
message.
the VictorHugoCollection.com, and you can scroll to the bottom and you can see my channels on Rumble and BitChute, and you can see how ridiculously censored I am. And if you can spread the word, tell your family, your friends, your neighbors, and your pets about the VictorHugoCollection.com and realized I have a dark sense of humor, people. I'm not really going to a baby eating party, but I am going to snort some coke and drink some whiskey and go to the beach.
There we go.
You know, why not?
Why not? Yes. Life is short. Why not? A new pandemic is on the way. There might be an alien invasion on the way. We don't know, but I would say live life. And if you have a bad girlfriend, bad wife, terrible relationship, dump that bitch. I think it's probably the best advice anyone can give. But Victor, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to have you here, and that's VictorHugoCollection.com. Or go to Rumble and type in Victor's name, and you'll find him there. And Victor, once again, thank you so much for being a part of the program. That was a killer, by the way. I had a lot of fun with you, my friend. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did, and thank you, Daniel, for being so patient, and you too, Michael, and your audience.
Right.
We had technical difficulties at first, but we made it through. So thanks to everybody for participating in this conversation. I hope you guys have a sense of humor and your panties aren't all ruffled and you're calling your local people, telling them, oh my God, you need to ban this show. Listen, get a life. If you're worried about me, worry about the people in your government that are lying to you, torturing, raping, murdering, and eating babies. That's what you should be upset about. Not at me, not at Michael, and not at Daniel. Be upset at yourself.
And Victor, please, first of all, it's an honor to be on here with you. I was looking forward to it. It exceeded my expectations. Fascinating life you have there, for one thing. And also, please pass along my legend to those beautiful Ukrainian ladies.
Oh, yeah. Send me some pictures, man. These women are looking to get married to some good men. The Ukrainian women and Russian women are good. By the way, in all seriousness, these are good people. The Russians are not the evil that they want you to believe. That's all nonsense. These are really good people. They're very smart, and they are not to be afraid of. We should be friends with them. They helped us during the revolution. They helped us during the wars, and they wanted to be friends with us, but it was the United States that said no. And the United States, meaning the CIA and the Jews, because they have a thing for these Russians. They want to kill them, just like they want to kill you. The quicker you find out that your government is trying to kill you and using your taxpayer dollars to do it, the quicker you'll rise up and stop it. And we're almost at the breaking point, people. They're really putting it all out there. So I don't know what to tell you. It's all fun and games. I get it, but they really are trying to kill you. And I'm just trying to raise awareness because I want you guys to wake up, because I don't want you all to die.
Well, that's very kind of you. But Victor, yes, amazing job. Had a great time with you, my friend. Thank you for staying up, and we'll see you on the other side, Victor.
Yeah, all right, great. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
Clockwise, we enjoyed you. Goodbye for now.
Until next time, my friend.
You're right. Absolutely. But yes, we want to thank Victor for spending some time with us. We really appreciated him being on the program, and we learned a lot about Victor here tonight. It was a good time, and yes, it took a little bit of time to get things ironed out with the internet connection, with just the technicalities that sometimes will arrive and arise at the same time and present themselves, but it's up to you to sort of figure it out and get through it, very much like life. Life is full of these small obstacles, but it's up to you to get through them all with your middle finger in the air. But Daniel, it was a pleasure to have you here as well, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time. My God, Victor is a party. I wish that I could literally fly over there and just hang out with that guy and go to some of these parties, hang out at the beach. I think all three of us are big beach guys. I love the beach, even though up here there's a lot of rocks and cold, but I still love it. And I had a great time. My God, 2 hours flew by.
It really did,
even
right?
though we had to wait around a while. Yeah,
we had to wait.
Went by.
Yeah, it went by fast. It was pretty outrageous, but we got through it. And again, much love and respect to all of you out there for pressing play. And I apologize for not answering. We had a few calls, by the way, but I kind of just let them ring, and we just kept talking away, which I think is a good thing. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt the conversation. Things were going good. But I apologize to those that did call in, but we'll do it again very soon. And Daniel, any parting words before I let you go?
Yeah, just yeah, one thing that I've been talking about is I've been all over the place. I've studied just about everything to do with the unexplained, the paranormal, all these funky belief systems out there, and I've really ran the gauntlet. And
Right.
to me, the only truth that is really true is the words of Jesus Christ. And these are some dark times coming up on us. So people out there, don't lose your faith. Know that you are not alone, no matter how bad things get, no matter how bad the prices get, no matter what happens in the next few weeks, months, years. People like Michael and I, we are, what we do oftentimes has little reward, and it's not easy. And we will always be here for you, no matter how bad it gets.
This is true. I couldn't have said it better myself, but Daniel, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and Victor. And we'll do it again, I'm pretty sure, very, very soon.
Anytime. I love coming on here.
Thank you, my friend. Talk to you guys soon.
Peace.
Bye-bye. And there we go, boys and girls. That was another live edition of the Michael Decon program wrapped up for you there. I hope you appreciated that one. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. That was a lot of fun. I definitely want to thank all of you out there for pressing play and hanging out with me and Daniel and Victor. And yes, it was a good one. And we'll do it again very, very soon. And yes, you hear that music, that means it's pretty much time to get out of here. But yes, thank you for pressing play. My name, in fact, is Michael Decon. Ah, yes. Yes, that intro. By the way, a listener made that. That little sound drop there.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
Absolutely.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Oh, yes. But you hear the music now. And yes, that means it is time to get out of here. 2 hours went by a lot faster than I ever imagined, to be honest with you. I feel like we just started, and now we're leaving. It's pretty sad, it's pretty depressing, but yes, I want to thank Max in the chat room, Stevie, and Jane Tracy, and who is that? Raising Harmony Ray. There is a few others out there, but I can't see the chat room. I don't know if you guys are out there, but again, much respect to you, and respect to Cameron, by the way, a long-time listener of the program. Much love to Cameron. And much love to all the Canadian and international listeners out there. Much love to you too. Mwah! Big kiss. Hopefully somebody will like that. If not, that's okay too. But yes, I gotta go. MichaelDecon.com. Go there when you can. And of course, take us on the road. Search the Michael Decon program, and that is where you'll find me. Yes, or if you want to join us over on Patreon, which would be pretty badass if you did. If you enjoyed this program, definitely join us over at patreon.com/Michael Decon for more amazing content not heard on the JWTube or anywhere else, nor on the podcast rendition of this program. Yes, that's patreon.com/Michael Decon. But yes, holy shit, I gotta leave. Yes, signing off from Huntington Beach, California, my name in fact is Michael Decon, and I shall see you on the other side. Goodbye for now.